Good morning and welcome to another edition of the Great Green Home Show. Prepare yourselves for another hour of green information, incubation, formulation, education, and motivation. Useful green insights and up-to-date news reports to help you save money, energy, and this great green globe we call Earth. We have a very exciting show for you today. We'll be discussing fair trade and chocolate. Speaking of overindulgence, how are you doing with your resolutions, Paul? Have you kept any of them yet?
They're all locked up. I'm not telling anybody about them. Actually, I did. What am I doing?
Nobody's allowed to know what they are in case you don't keep them. Then
that's it. If I don't,
not
it
really
doesn't
truly
happen.
Responsible
If all of a sudden
them.
I'm 400 pounds, you'll be able to tell I did not keep that one.
Okay,
that'll be good, and it'll probably be from eating chocolate
and
not fair trade cacao, which we'll talk about later.
Right. And as always, we feel privileged to be able to bring you this show every week. And it is our goal to keep up with the rapidly changing landscape out there, both in technology and the number of people who are working diligently to make a difference where our planet is concerned.
Like us.
I am Doug Hunt. Next to me is my co-host, Paul Hughes. Buenos dias, Paulo. ¿Qué pasa on el green radar screen?
I
don't know if any of that actually makes any sense or not. I don't speak Spanish, so
I think you're probably going to get some letters now.
Yeah, I probably just cursed you out in Spanish or something.
Whoa! Looking up your radar screen. Okay, $100 a barrel oil.
Yeah, well, we all saw that coming.
40, I think it's 42 or 46 gallons per barrel.
Saw that coming.
Well, the Main Street press is finally catching on that this is not just, a result of a hurricane, or it's not just a result of Middle East unrest, that we have passed peak oil. People know it. The government knows it. We're going to be on a plateau for a while, but demand is going up, which means that oil is not going to drop anymore. It's just going to go up.
You mean the price of oil?
Oh, yeah, exactly,
okay.
Yeah. No, actually, it was on the site last night. I think it was a legal government site, pretty sure. And I was checking out what the government's plans are. They have all these predictions and future predictions, and what they're planning on is trying to encourage the oil producers to produce more to meet the demand. However, there's a finite supply at this point, and that means that
certainly not going to drive the price down.
No, it's not going to. They're going to try to take advantage of the high prices, but it means that oil will actually end up becoming a shortage sooner than later. So this brings us to the green financial tip: renewables. They're going up every time oil prices increase for a couple of reasons. One, everyone's looking for cheaper energy sources. And people are apparently waking up to the fact that once we pass peak oil, it means that shortages in the future are not going to be so much in the future. So do your homework, pick a green energy sector. We're doing it. Read all you can and look. Don't just look for companies that are supplying alternative energy, but also those who supply those companies both directly and indirectly. For example, right here at home is the DuPont company. And they supply 6 components for solar. They control 6 of the components that go into building the solar panels for solar energy.
Okay.
Don't invest in just wind farm. Also look to the manufacturer who makes the lightweight composite material that the wind company is using to make the wind turbines. Look for distribution companies, who are the guys who are distributing these raw materials and some of the parts. Stay tuned, because we're going to make this actually a part of our show from now on.
We need to make it a regular segment.
As a regular segment, because there's a lot of guys out there, and I get a lot of newsletters that are not on the button. They're number crunchers, but they don't have a real grasp of the market and where it's going. So we're going to try to help people out and point them in the right direction for a green investment, because socially sustainable investment is one of the things that's going to save the planet.
Right.
All right.
I'm in agreement.
Publications to watch: the Alternative Energy Trader. Mark my words, the most common vehicle in the 10 to 15 years will be the plug-in hybrid, with electric coming in second. All right, so we'll do that quickly. Number 2, the plug-in hybrid is ultimately fueled by power plants, but even though the power plants are still belching out a lot of pollution, they're going to start doing less, and the plug-in hybrid is actually only responsible for about 1/3 of the carbon. That's all it'll be putting out if you run a plug-in hybrid compared to your gas cars.
Right.
Secondly, of course, a car that runs with that gets 100 to 120 miles to the gallon is going to produce a lot less carbon itself.
Right. And use a lot less gas.
Right, and use a lot less gas, not just because it's plugged in, but because you're using a lot less gas. If you happen to have a solar power system on your house, we recommend that, or you're plugged into a utility that is using wind power, then the battery that runs the car is basically running on carbon-free electricity. So we're trying to point people in the right direction. This is where you should be headed to get to energy independence. Some people are going to be solving it one way. Some people are going to be solving it the other. The point is that as citizens, we don't have to wait for the government to do this. We should be moving ourselves towards energy independence in every way possible in everything we do. Recycling, reusing, repairing, buying products that produce less energy and carbon to manufacture and to use, and products that last longer. We've been hoodwinked. The plug-in hybrid and the electric car, those types of products.
Yeah, you know what? The word disposable shouldn't exist in our vocabulary in a few years. We need to phase out the word disposable so that it literally doesn't exist.
And everyone should, of course, go see that movie, The History of Stuff. Google it online. Go see The History of Stuff. They'll explain
Storyofstuff.com.
Is it The Story of Stuff?
Storyofstuff.com.
No wonder I can't find it.
Or maybe storyofstuff.com.
I've been watching this strange history story and wondering what the heck
the
I'm
story of
talking
stuff,
about.
and it's storyofstuff.com.
Story of Stuff.
Incredible. You've got to see this website. You've got to see this video.
Hopefully we'll have that woman here for the show. Don't forget that the corporations that sell you products that don't last long, planned obsolescence, and believe me, the large companies want you to buy hydrogen that's coming up for them to fuel your homes and your cars so that they can keep making money like they do off of gas. The neat thing about the plug-in hybrid is if there is a gas shortage, which there going to be before we change over from one economy to the other, even if you're gas rationed and you can't get it that day, at least you can plug that car in and you'll have 60 miles to drive on it.
Right.
There is going to be a mass migration back to the cities.
Well,
too,
and imagine how much those cars will be worth on the market at that stage of the game.
Absolutely. So get yours before they go through the roof.
The only way to get around.
People be stealing them. All right, so that's our diatribe for this week, but it points you in the right direction for starting to socially responsibly invest.
Alrighty.
And what do we have now?
The Great Green Expo, March 29th, 2008, at the Chase Riverfront Center. Green vendors, green speakers, green celebrities, green cars, fun stuff for the kids, great information for the grown-ups, a guaranteed good time for all. Again, March 29th, 2008, Chase Riverfront Center in Wilmington. Put it down, mark it in your calendar, must see, and we need to thank our sponsors.
Great music.
There'll be great music. There'll be great everything.
Absolutely.
Great green everything.
Okay.
Thank our sponsors, Paul, please.
Okay. CMI Solar Electric, Energy Services Group, SunTrust Mortgage of Christiana, MyEcoAgent.com, and Option Insurance Group. Call them. They're very good. Also, Mark Unruh for the great music, and listen to Scott Burney's program on WVUD 91.3 FM on Fridays because he's very green musicians, and you need to protect us with a copyright disclaimer.
The content of the Great Green Home Show is solely the responsibility of the Environmental Communication Foundation. Does not necessarily reflect the opinion of WILM, its sponsors, or Clear Channel Radio. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or use of the Great Green Home Show or its contents without the written permission from the Green Fox, Paul Hughes, Sister Mary Chlorophyll, Father Seamus O'Toole, and the Environmental Communication Foundation is strictly prohibited.
You know, I miss Father Seamus and Sister Mary Chlorophyll.
We need to see them soon.
Go visit them.
We need to visit them
and
soon.
And Cletus. I'm not sure where Cletus is.
You know, I think at some point we need to introduce Cletus to Father Seamus O'Toole and Sister Mary Chlorophyll. That's just
what would that segment be like? Is he? What would he be investigating? Lunchrooms?
You know what?
Catholic school lunchrooms.
I'm overload. I just have complete overload.
He could have
brain.
new recipes, new economical recipes for the lunchrooms at the Catholic schools.
There you
Pious
go.
possum stew.
And it could be all fair trade, organic, roadkill.
Roadkill picked up.
Right. And healthy.
I've got some recipes for you.
Healthy, because we talked about the whole
You
health
talk about mystery
thing
meat.
at the schools.
All
right, well, we will be right back after these words from our sponsor with our next segment.